First, London Muslim Mosque is holding their fundraising dinner tomorrow from 6:30 to 10 at the Convention Center. Tickets are $50 per person if you're interested. Our summer camp is still taking registrations and will inshallah start on July the 3rd until August the 25th. The camp is for children ages 4 to 12, so if you're interested, please register in the office. Our beloved Abu Hani Shawshad has helped put together the Canada Day newspaper clippings and articles that you will see if you haven't already seen it. That's posted along the wall in the lobby area under the TV. Please take some time after Jummah prayer to enjoy the 150-year history that is on that wall so that you can all truly appreciate how great this country is. Also, don't forget to pay your Zakat al-Fitr before the day of the Eid. It's $15 per person for every member of your household. If you can, please pay your Zakat today after Eid so that we're able to send the money to those in need on your behalf. Alhamdulillah, for your convenience, we have many different ways of paying, which includes cash, credit, debit, and our kiosk. Please also don't forget this is the month of giving. Inshallah, we constantly need your support. We still owe about $150,000 on our parking lot project. Everyone has commented how amazing it looks and how happy they are. Alhamdulillah, we love your praise, but we need your financial support as well. So whatever you're able to give, please do so. This is the month of giving, like I stated. Inshallah, Allah will multiply whatever you give immensely. Just another reminder that we need to always remind ourselves to park properly in this new lovely parking lot that we have. So park the way you would at a non-Muslim facility such as a Walmart, which means actually parking between two yellow lines as opposed to creating your own parking spot. We cannot park in the front entranceway, in front of the women's entrance, or along this exit, because that's a fire road. We cannot also park in the handicap spot unless you have a valid permit. So you'll be either ticketed or towed, whichever is convenient. So we're just warning everybody before we get to that point so that we're giving you plenty of notice. Positive news, inshallah, you're probably mostly aware that Eid, inshallah, will be this Sunday. It's not confirmed yet, we'll know for sure tomorrow, inshallah, but most likely all signs are pointing to Sunday. If Eid is Sunday, inshallah, we'll have one prayer here at the center. Takbir will be at 8:30 in the morning, followed by Salah at 9. Try to carpool if possible, because they'll be very busy. We'll have volunteers that will be directing you where to park. Please obey them. Please do not swear or spit at them, as that has happened every Ramadan, if you can believe it, or every Eid, if you can believe it or not. So please respect the volunteers. Also, our neighbor to my left, your right, I believe it's Allison Trucking. They've allowed us to park in their lot because they're not going to be there on Sunday, if that is Sunday. So we'll have volunteers directing you there to park as well. Again, I have to remind, please, this is our neighbors, so please don't throw litter and garbage, and respect your neighbor. With regards to the agenda on the day of Eid, once the Imam has concluded his sermon, we'll offer complimentary tidbits and coffee, along with juice and grab bags for the children. More importantly for the children, we'll have games, jumpy castles, popcorn, cotton candy. That will run from 9:30 to 11:30 in the morning. So please plan to stick around if you can. If it ends up raining, which the Weather Network is saying it might, we won't be able to have the jumpy castles, but we'll still have the other fun activities. London Muslim Mosque and MAC have booked the TV stadium for their Eid prayers. If you want to attend there. Their takbir is at 8:30 in the morning, followed by prayers at 9. This will be outside in the field. They do have a plan B if it does rain, and their plan B is to hold 2 prayers. One will be at the Muslim Mosque, and one will be at Earl Nichols Arena. The times for, they're going to have 2 prayers. The first prayer will be the takbir is at 6:30 in the morning, followed by 7, the Eid prayer. And their second one will be takbir at 9 in the morning with prayer at 9:30. So we'll be sending out some correspondence, inshallah, once we have confirmation with that information. Lastly, if we need some help setting up tables and chairs at Bishop on prayer for dinner tonight. So if you can help, that would be appreciated. Thank you very much for your time. Assalamu alaikum.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
ممكن نتقارب قليلا إن شاء الله. نتقارب. Could you please come forward? Now people will come in late to pray with us. إن الحمد لله نحمده تعالى ونستعينه ونستنصره ونعوذ بالله تعالى من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صفيه وخليله بعثه الله هاديا ومبشرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله بإذنه وسراجا منيرا. فبلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين. أما بعد، أيها الإخوة المؤمنون، أيتها الأخوات المؤمنات، الزكاة في الإسلام من الأركان وليست من المستحبات وليست من المباحات، ولكنها من أركان الدين، وقرنت بالصلاة في عدة مواضع، بل إن غالبا عندما يذكر الله عز وجل الصلاة يذكر من بعدها الزكاة. وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة، لأن الصلاة هي البناء التي يقوم بها الإنسان، البناء الذي يقوم به الإنسان لنفسه، فهو يبني علاقته بالله عز وجل. والصلاة مطلوبة منك لبناء العلاقة مع الله، فتبنيك وتبني فيك الإيمان وتبني فيك العلاقة مع الله، فبالتالي تكون مستقيمة، لأن الصلاة تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر فهي لك. والزكاة هي لأمتك، كما أنت تبني نفسك يجب عليك أن تبني أمتك. الصلاة لك والزكاة للأمة. الصلاة لك والزكاة للفقراء والمساكين والعاملين عليها. فكما أن الصلاة ركن ركين من الدين، أيضا الزكاة. ومن فرق بينهما يعني بنى نفسه هدم أمته، هذا مردود عليه، لا يجوز. لأن بناء النفس يقتضي أن تسعى إلى بناء أمتك، أن لا يكون هناك فقير، أن لا يكون هناك مسكين، أن لا يكون هناك عبودية، أن لا يكون هناك إنسان مدين، أن لا يكون هناك إنسان انقطعت به السبل ولم تقف في جانبه، أن لا يكون هناك لاجئ محتاج أو مهاجر محتاج. فأنت إن فعلت ذلك تكون قد أديت رسالتك مع الله، وهو الذي طلب منك أن تؤدي رسالتك إلى أمتك. فالزكاة بناء أمة، والصلاة بناء فرد. الفرد من الصلاة وبناء الأمة من الزكاة. لذلك العلماء اعتبروا أن الذي يترك الزكاة يخرج من دائرة الإسلام، والعياذ بالله، يخرج من دائرة الإسلام. يقول أبو بكر رضي الله عنه، يقول: والله لأقاتلن من فرق بين الصلاة والزكاة، لأقاتلن، والله لو منعوني عقالا كانوا يؤدونه لرسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لقاتلتهم عليه. لماذا هذا القتال؟ قتال، جبهة، حرب. لماذا؟ قال: لأن الذي يمنع زكاة ماله يهدم أمته، يسعى في تهديد المجتمع، تكثر الجريمة. ليه؟ صار في فقراء كثير ومعنى ذلك بده يسرق، تكثر السرقة، يكثر القتل، يكثر الهرج، يكثر المرج. لماذا؟ لأن الأمة لا تقوم بواجبها. ولو أدت الأمة واجبها بأن تؤدي حق الله عز وجل في مالها لم تجد عليها فقيرا، لأن الله عز وجل عادل. عمر بن عبد العزيز رضي الله عنه وأكرم مثواه عندما أخذ زكاة المال من الناس بدأ يترك الأبواب، فيقول الناس: خذوا الزكاة، وقل لا حاجة لنا فيها. اكتفى الناس في زمن عمر بن عبد العزيز لأن الناس أدت حق الله. أما الذي يبخل عن حق الله عز وجل والذي لا يؤدي حق الله عز وجل فيكون قد ارتكب إثما عظيما. Dear brothers and sisters, people in the month of Ramadan, they always like to pay their zakat. And it is important to talk about zakat. And we have mentioned in Arabic that zakat, it was related to the salah in many verses in the Quran. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He talked to salah, He also talked to the zakat. Talk about the zakat. And Umar bin Khattab and Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he said, I'm gonna fight those who differentiate between salat and zakat. As you come to Friday, and as you pray Taraweeh, and as you pray Fajr, and Dhuhr, and Asr, Maghrib, and Isha, as you pray, you have also to do your due toward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because in fact, that the money you earn, it is not yours. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's the one who gives you the ability of the sight, who gives you the ability of the ear, who gives you the energy that you move from place to place. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's the one who gives you the energy to earn this money, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's the one who provided you this money. Otherwise, you will not get it. So the money, in fact, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned it many times, that min malillah. So the money in your hand, in fact, is not yours. It is Allah's rizq, that He is the one who sustained to you. So when you look at this issue from this corner, that this money between your hand is not yours, then you have to pay your due. So why is that? Why is zakat so important? Why is zakat so important? Zakat is so important as the salah important. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us to build your character, to build your behavior through the salah, Because when you pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're building the relationship with Allah. Man aqamaha faqad aqama ad-din. The one who established salah, he is establishing deen, he is establishing religion. That he is establishing himself or herself. So the salah is very important. You cannot leave salah in any circumstances. Except if ladies, they have their own issues. Then they are only they requested to leave the salah. But otherwise, there are no other excuses to leave the salah. Because the salah is the building methods that build you, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want you to do it. It's because your own benefit, for your own benefit as an individual. Zakat, it is to build your nation, to build an ummah. You cannot only work on yourself and build yourself, you have also to build others. To care about others. I establish a relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the same times, I'm not living in island. I'm not in island. I am connected to the people. I have to be connected to the people. I have to be connected to the ummah, to the nation. I have to be connected to my neighbor. I have to be connected to the person who is less fortunate than me. Then I do care about others. So caring about yourself through the salah, it's great. Because you want to fund Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's hand. But also you need to build your ummah, your nation. If you're not paying zakat, mean the level of crimes will uprise. If you're not paying zakat, mean people will seek different ways to get money. If you're not paying zakat, then the level of poor people will be increased. It is a shame. It is a shame in the Muslim Ummah when you see people in Somalia dying out of hunger, while their neighbors here and there are paying $461 billion. It is a shame when you see people in Bangladesh dying out of hunger, while you see other people eating and throwing the food in the garbage. This is not the Ummah that the Prophet ﷺ wants us to be. That if your neighbor is hungry and you're full, this is not iman. This is not a faith. You're not believing in Allah. If you're only praying and you're not paying zakat, this is not a faith. This is not a faith. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِلصَّلَاةِ فَاعِلُونَ الَّذِينَ يَكْنِزُونَ الذَّهَبَ وَالْفِضَّةَ. Those who do kanz for ذهب and fidda, they collect gold and silver, they collect it and they give it. بَشِّرْهُمْ بِعَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ. That they'll have severe punishment in the day of judgment. This severe punishment because of their collection. They hide it. They want to get mine. It's mine. I want. And I don't care about others. I don't care about those refugees that were less fortunate. I don't care about people on the street of Gaza or in the street of Palestine, on the street of Baghdad, in the Mosul. We don't care. No, it can't be like that. You cannot say, I have a faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yet I'm not going to pay zakat. It can't work. No. And then what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said? Use zakat. Even the word zakat or sadaqah or nafaqa, look at this beauty. Zakat is from the map. In Arabic language, zakat is from the map. Or zakat from tathir. Both meanings is wonderful meaning for the zakat. Zakat as nama mean when you pay your zakat, is not gonna decrease. Is not gonna decrease your wealth. ما نقص مال من صدقة. ما نقص مال من صدقة. It's not gonna be decreased. In fact, it's gonna be increased. In two ways. Nama. In two ways it's gonna be increased. Either Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open too many gates for you, and you will see that the rizq is flooding. And I saw it, subhanAllah. I saw it by my eyes. A person donated big amount of money, and he got the call right away. He said, what were the transactions that we were doing, alhamdulillah, it was even 10 times more. Subhanallah. And this is what Uthman did. Uthman, when he equipped the army, this businessman came to him and they want to buy those camels. And with all the equipment on their backs. What Uthman said, he said, some of the businessmen said, we're gonna pay you double. Some of them, they said, we're gonna pay you triple. And some of them, we're gonna pay you 4 times. He said, no, there is one who paid me more. Whose business is gonna pay you more than 4 times? He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala paid me 10 times. Wallahu yudha'if liman yasha. Ma naqasa min sadaqah. That your money is not gonna decrease, it's gonna be increased. Or if it's not increased here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take your sadaqah. Look at this. Allah will take your sadaqah in His right hand. According to Allah we don't know. He will accept your sadaqah. وَيُرْهِيهَا لَكَ. You know that man, a businessman, who one man put him money, gave him money, and he left for years, and he came back and he gave him a lot of money. He said, I did not give you that. He said, but I took your money and I did business. When you come back, this is your money. He gave him a big chunk of money. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more generous. That if you put money in the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's gonna multiply it for you. When you meet Him, you will look at your sadaqah. I did not pay that. I did not pay that. It is a mountain of hasanat. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uplifted it to you and increased it to you in the day of judgment. In the day of judgment. So therefore Aisha used to give sadaqah and used to put perfume on it. Because it's gonna be in Allah's hand. It's in Allah's acceptance. So brothers, zakat, it is not zakat al-fitr only. So some people run and they ask, what is zakat al-fitr, Sheikh? Is it $15? It's too much. Why you don't make it $10? If this is the only zakat you're talking about, zakat al-fitr is wajib because you're fasting and you have to pay zakat al-fitr. But we're talking about zakat al-mal, wealth. And it's not that much. If you look at ourselves, we're paying here, when you buy some stuff outside, you're paying up to 13%. And on your salary, when they give him a check, the check is too much money. Almost 40% was taken by the tax department. And what? Have anyone complained? Have any complained about the tax you pay? It might go to 40% on your salary. It might reach 40% on your salary. Have you complained about the 13% you're paying for the tax outside? HST or PST, WST. Have you ever complained? No. You know why you're not complaining? Because you see hospitals, you see streets, you see parks, you see schools, people providing to you, paying you back. So you don't complain, right? Because you see that. You're not complaining. Have you ever seen your sight? Have you ever seen your ears? Have you ever seen your hands, your legs? Have you ever seen what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided to you? That He's giving you the ability to go around. Have you ever seen that? We don't see it. You know, in the day of judgment, a person will come in the day of judgment with too much hasanat. And he will tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, I want to enter Jannah because of what I have done. I paid zakat and I prayed Allah. So, oh Allah, let me enter Jannah because what I have done. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell this servant, He said, measure all what he has done and measure the bounty of the sight. Only the bounty of the sight. The bounty of the sight was more. So would 2.5% will be too much? Would 2.5% will be too much? People not doing it. If London, the Muslim, the 10% of the population in London paying the 2.5%, we will have in the account at the Islamic Center welcoming the refugees, and we will be providing checks to people and the London Muslim Mosque as well. We will give people, we will sponsor families We will give sponsorship to the student at university. We will sponsor a student at university. We will open a chair for Islamic studies here and there and there. We will be able to do that if the 2.5% paid in London, Ontario. So imagine if the 2.5% paid in the Muslim world. What would happen? So that's me. It is not only prayer, brothers. It is not only we cry in Laylatul Qadr and we go to Hajj and we cry there. It's not gonna work. If your tears come like a river, and if you prostrate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala day and night, and you're not paying your zakat, it's gonna be X'd. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He called it as shirk. If you're not paying, that you're taking partnership with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it is not an easy fact. It is not an easy pillar that we are not really paying attention to. So we have to do our best. Is today, people, they can pay their zakat before it's fine. You cannot delay it after time. If you have a money, and it's equal to $4,500. Simple calculation. If you have $4,500 in your account, and you don't need it, one Islamic calendar, pass over it. One Islamic calendar, pass over it, then you have to pay 2.5%. If you earn within this year too much money on top of the 4,500, because this is the nisab, it's 85 grams of gold, 81 qirat. So if you have this amount, $4,500, and it is extra, you don't need them, and one Islamic calendar pass over them, and you earned within the year, let's say in first of Ramadan, I have 4,500. In the next Ramadan, in the first of Ramadan, I have $10,000, then I'm gonna take 2.5% out of the $10,000, and this is the right of the people who Allah mentioned as 8 categories. This is not a choice. If you put this money with your money, then it is way of stealing the money of poor people. This is not yours anymore. This is not yours anymore. It is simple calculation. Let's your accountant. You have an accountant, especially those business people, doctors, engineers, even anyone, taxi drivers, imams, whomever is working, that you have an accountant, right? It's like you have a family doctor. You have a family doctor and you have an accountant. You ask your accountant every year to measure what you have, what you earn, and you take 2.5%, pay it to your ummah, build your ummah. And if we do that, we will not wait till the generosity of others. We will not wait for Gaza to be built by west or east. If they're building settlement, we don't have to wait. We can give money to the people in Gaza and tell them, take this money and build your homes. We can tell Syrians, your country was destroyed, take this money, build your home. And this is how the Ummah can do. And if we can't go that far, we should not beg for $150,000. And you come here and you park and we leave and nothing happens. This is no feeling of belonging. If you don't have this feeling of belonging to the Ummah, then you're doing only salah for yourself. This is selfishness. And excuse my language, this is selfishness. You only live for yourself, and it is not accepted. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you have to build yourself, and you have to build your community, your nation, your ummah, your community has to be built, and you have to do it. As far as you have the nisab, as far as 1 year passed over your money, you have to build your ummah, you have to build your community as you're building the relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. استغفرك ربي لا احصي ثناء عليك انت كما اثنيت على نفسك واشهد ان لا اله الا الله ولي الصالحين واشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله عباد الله اعلموا ان الله تبارك باجر عظيم وبدا به بنفسه وثنى به على ملائكه عرشه وثلث به على عباده الصالحين فقال عز من قائل ان الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا ايها الذين امنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على هذا النبي الكريم وعلى من سار هديه باحسان الى يوم الدين وارض اللهم عن الخلفاء الاربعه ابي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي واجعلنا اللهم في زمرتهم يوم لا ينفع مال ولا بنون الا من اتى الله بقلب سليم. Dear brothers and sisters, money is dear to human, and because it is dear, it's very difficult to take it out. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala encouraged people, and He said, the one who's do bukhl سيطوق بما بخل به يوم القيامة. Because it is dear and you love it, and when you spend it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're gonna get His blessings. If you keep this money, then this money will surround you in the day of judgment. Will surround you as a punishment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the generosity. As the Prophet ﷺ used to be so generous, that the Prophet ﷺ has too much money, and when he was dying, he asked Aisha, what's left? She said, 4 dirham. He said, the Prophet ﷺ dying, and there is 4 dirham, go and spend it for this ummah. Spend it for the poor people. We don't want to see poverty. We don't want to see poverty. Poverty is killing. Poverty with ignorance, it can kill. And as Ali ibn Abi Talib said, if poverty was a man, I'm gonna kill it. If the poverty was a man, I'm gonna kill it, because the poverty is too bad. If you go have a study about what poverty can do, you would not really imagine the big impact on communities because of poverty exists. We need to eliminate poverty. And the best way to eliminate poverty is establish zakat, pay zakat, and stop interest. Stop riba. Stop riba. People taking and they don't want to give. And riba is haram. Zakat is must. And this is how we build nation, by eliminating poverty. And this is what Islam did when Umar ibn Abdul Aziz was paying money. Imagine someone knocking your door. Imagine someone today knocking your door and telling you this is $10,000. Would you accept it? He's telling you this is the government of Canada, knock the door and tells you this is $10,000. Would you refuse it? In the time of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, they refused it because they had enough. They said, what are we going to do with this money? He went and he started marrying the people who's not married. And this is extra money still. You know what he did? He bought food to the birds. Just to let the birds eat. This is what the ni'mah. It's between your hands that it will be flooding. It will be more. Not you're gonna see people dying out of hunger and out of thirst. Allahumma bi rahmatika nuhaddith. وعليك لا تكلنا لأنفسنا طرفة عين وخذ بناصيتنا إلى الخير. اللهم إنا نسألك من الخير كله عاجله وآجله ونعوذ بك من الشر كله عاجله وآجله. اللهم كما حببت إلينا الصلاة حبب إلينا الزكاة. اللهم كما جعلتنا من الذين يقيمون الصلاة اجعلنا من الذين يؤتون الزكاة. اللهم لا تجعلنا من الذين يبخلون. اللهم أبعد عنا البخل والشح. اللهم أبعد عنا البخل والشح واجعلنا ربنا ممن يقيم حدودك واجعلنا اللهم مما يقيم دينك. اللهم اجعلنا ممن ينفع من شأن هذه الأمة. اللهم أعنا على مساعدة المساكين والفقراء والمؤلفة قلوبهم والعاملين عليها وفي الرقاب وفي وابن السبيل والسائلين. اللهم اجعلنا ممن يعينون هؤلاء يا رب العالمين. ارفع الكرب عن أمتنا. ارفع الكرب عن أمتنا. اللهم ارفع الكرب عن أمتنا بما قدمنا. اللهم إن ذنوبنا وإن إيقافنا عن الزكاة قد ابتلانا، اللهم فارفع عنا ما نحن فيه بأن تجعلنا ربنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه ويطبقون أمر دينهم كما أمر. اللهم إنا نسألك ربنا أن ترفع الكرب والمصاب عن بلاد المسلمين. اللهم عليك بمن سفك دماء المسلمين وبمن دمر بلاد المسلمين. اللهم عليك بالمجرمين فإنهم لا يعجزونك، عليك بالمجرمين فإنهم لا يعجزونك. رحماك اللهم ببلاد المسلمين، ألف بين قلوب المسلمين، وحد صف المسلمين، اجمع كلمة المسلمين، طهر قلوب المسلمين، أصلح نفوس المسلمين، وأعد المسلمين إلى دينهم، وأرجع المسلمين إلى دينهم، وأعد المسلمين إلى دينهم عودا حميدا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. تقبل منا صلاتنا وصيامنا وقيامنا وركوعنا، ولا تقذف ذلك في وجوهنا يوم نلقاك، واجعل أعمالنا خالصة لوجهك الكريم، ولا تجعل لأحد فيها شيئا يا رب العالمين. من أراد بالإسلام والمسلمين خيرا فوفقه لكل خير، ومن أراد بالإسلام والمسلمين شرا فخذه أخذ عزيز مقتدر. اجعل القرآن الكريم ربيع قلوبنا ونور صدورنا وجلاء همومنا وأحزاننا، ذكرنا منه ما نسينا واجعله حجة لنا ولا تجعله حجة علينا، وارزقنا تلاوته آناء الليل وأطراف النهار على النحو الذي يرضيك عنا. اجعلنا ممن يقيم حروفه وحدوده، ولا تجعلنا ممن يقيم حروفه ويضيع حدوده برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم اهد بنا، اللهم اهد بنا، اللهم لا تضلنا، واهد شبابنا، ارزقهم طريق الهداية وابعدهم عن طريق الغواية. آمين آمين. قوموا بصلاتكم.